Hello everyone, welcome back to Captaining Aviation. Hopefully you're doing well today, and as you can see from the title of the video, this is the skills test video, tips and advice. Yes, I've done my skills test just a couple of days ago, but before we start I would just like to apologize as I haven't been uploading for the past month. I do apologize. I know it's not consistent from me. I do upload. I used to upload, let's say before this month of break, let's call it, every month, every Wednesday or Friday, or 2-3 times a week. So I do apologize if I've been lacking this consistency. However, I wanted to say that my skills test is done, and I'd like to explain obviously why I had this 1 month break. And it was because, I mean, as you know, the RT exam was my last video, and I wanted to just wrap up this PPL exams, let's call it. So all the 9 ground exams, the RT, so the radio telephony exam, and this skills test exam for the PPL, I wanted to wrap all of them up in one go without any videos in between. I know it was slightly inconsistent. It was inconsistent of me having a 1 month break, but I wanted to get this skills test done out of the way, so all the videos now are in line for the PPL exams. I do have other videos for the PPL coming up, okay, and as you can notice, as you can probably see from my Instagram page, I've now updated it to private pilot instead of PPL student pilot. And yes, I'm a private pilot at the moment. Don't have my license with me. As I say, I did do my skills test a couple of days ago, so I don't have physically the license with me, but I did pass my skills test, and I will be going ahead today on this video to show you some tips and advice that obviously, apart from examiners, maybe your instructors as well would have told you, but just some tips and advice on my experience on the skills test. So let's get started, okay, and we'll just go through some of the things you would need, and I've got a couple of resources here to help myself out and you, of course, on the skills test. It's a very big day, okay. It's a big day to just demonstrate to your examiner what you're going to do, okay, how you're going to fly the plane safely, obviously, and just giving the examiner that doesn't know you, okay, a great first impression of how you can properly fly, okay. So it's just demonstrating your efficiency and your safe conduct of flight as a passenger. So you're basically pilot in command. Legally, the examiner is pilot in command, but for the flight, you are pilot in command. Treat your examiner as a passenger. Probably your instructors would have said that as well. So make sure they're safe, they know what they're doing. If they need any emergency, if you need to help them out with aircraft, anything else, just do tell them and just treat them as a passenger. And obviously don't be it's nervous before a skills test exam. I was kind of nervous, even though you know that you're ready for it and you've trained loads for it, but you still are nervous because it's a skills test and it's normal to be nervous. So no worries if you have a couple of nerves down your spine. So this is training. You've probably seen this, and I'm sure you've seen this from previous videos, and it does really help me. It did help me looking through not just what your training school gives you as resources, so your standard training notes, but just this book. It does have many details, 2-3 pages for each, let's say, each maneuver, or just any turning, turning, stalling, and slow flight. It doesn't have just one page, it's got a couple, and it's really helpful. So if you go here on the Air Pilot's Manual on the contents page, you can see what it's got, and this one as well. We'll get it closer for you. Sorry. It does have just a couple of notes. Everything that's on the syllabus will be on here, and you've got everything: flapless, all the circuits, approaches, advanced turning, you've got forced landing without power, precautionary landings, pilot navigation, okay, so you'll be doing navigation, stalling, slow flight, spinning, which I think isn't in the syllabus, your standard takeoff and landing, okay, your climbing, your descending, types of climbing, types of descending, turning, so medium and advanced, 30 degrees, 45 degrees, okay, your taxiing, straight and level, basic stuff. Obviously, if you're on this side of getting towards your last, basically your skill test is your last part of the PPL license. Okay, and you do have just everything, just tells you everything that's in the syllabus, probably what your flight training organization would have probably given you, and you already know. Instrument flying as well, so your goggles or the visor, I don't know what it's called. Anything, just use this book. I'll put the description in the book, in the book in the description, and the link down below. And it has, I've used it as reference on one of the last videos as well. So we're going to go through now. Sorry guys if I'm too long, but I want to give you as much information as possible. And we'll start. So the PPLs, what my flight training gave me was the skills test checklist, really useful. So it goes through what you need for your pre-test, your course completion certificate, a couple of, let's say, notes that you would need before the exam just to help you. Then on the day of your exam, most things that are helpful for you and the examiner, just to make a good first impression on the ground. Really important, because if you do mess something up mistake wise, that's not to perfection on the exam, then your examiner, sorry, does have a good impression of you from the ground. So it's important just to balance that out if you do have a couple of mistakes in the air. So we're just going to go through that, and then additional reading you would need, and that to impress your examiner even more. Okay, so let's go through the pre-test. And obviously guys, if you do have any questions down below, do give them. Any comments, really appreciated. I appreciate every comment that you guys give me, and I like it when you guys comment. It means that you're interested, and it really makes me happy. So pre-test, you would need your up-to-date logbook. I don't have my logbook with me here. It's at my flight training school, so it's there, and it would need to be assessed by the head of training, CAA, and I still haven't sent it to the CAA yet, as I don't have my license with me physically. So you would need, this is what my flight training gave me, but yours probably might be different. You would need an up-to-date logbook, that's for everyone I think, and your student record. You would need your hours, whatever you've done solo, whatever you've done dual, all recorded on the logbook, step by step, page by page, every additional, and make sure it's correct. Okay, so against your accounts, debits, if you do have that at your training school, whatever you've paid, whatever hours you've done, make sure they're equal on your logbook. Similar, that's how my one works, similar probably to your one as well. You would need a course completion certificate. I think your examiners would get your instructors would give you that. Complete all the dates. I think it says the dates and the first attempt and the second attempt if you've had one for your exams. So your ground theory exams, the ones that you can see on the previous videos, all the 9 ones, the nine of them, and you would need your dates that you've passed them on the first attempt and the second attempt if you failed the first attempt. Okay, so that's what you would do, and obviously your instructor will probably go through this as well, but just a note if it's to be missed. Your SRG 2128, okay, or for the PPL, and 2129 for the LAPL will be in the description down below. I think they're just a checklist for the exam, just to make sure what you'll be tested on for the exam, so you know, and it's obviously on the syllabus here, and it's on the syllabus at your training school as well. Then on the day of the test, guys, you would need to, it's advised, let's say it's recommended, to print your METARs and TAFs, okay, so the weather. And my examiner, for example, just wanted me to check on the phone, okay, or just to be aware of what the weather is, and obviously it's in your flight plan as well, so it's on there. And just know that you know what the METAR and the TAFs are for where you're going, on the routes and the NOTAMs, notices, anything that you need for your flight plan, for your flight to go well, especially in navigation sector where you don't use your iPad on the chart on the plane if you do have one. Okay, so just be aware of the weather. If it's strong wind, your examiner would ask you if you are ready to, or If you're confident that you can go ahead with flying, it's your decision. If you feel that you're good in crosswind, you're good in 15 knots winds, and obviously it's the crosswind limit is not there, then obviously it's your choice, your call. You decide whether you're safe to fly or not, and if you can land in that weather. Obviously, if it gets worse, then it would be, let's say, a problem for you, or let's not call it a problem, but it will be a challenge for you to land in strong weather. Just make a note of that. My one was pretty strong. It was 15, 16 knots of wind, and it was challenging to land because it's crosswind as well. So if the wind comes from the runway, it's probably easier than crosswind. Depends how you've trained on it, depends how you're safe on it. I like crosswind landings, but obviously it does get very challenging and frustrating when you go around twice and you can't land perfection, or you can't do the best because it's crosswind. So I just need to perfect my crosswind landings for now. But I do like the winds. I do like when it's not very calm. I do like a bit of wind. I don't know about you. You'll decide. You might comment as well in the comment box down below. So that's that. The METAR and TAF, the currents, obviously. So from 9 to 3 p.m. 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. That's on the Met Office. Put that in the description down below. I think you have to, you have to have a aviation weather briefing. Aviation weather briefing service. Okay, I think that aviation briefing service. That's what it's called. Anyway, I'll put the link in the description down below. Okay, of the METARs and TAFs. No TAMs, as we said before. You can use Sky Demon on the iPad to check, or you can go on the NATS website as well. I'll try putting the link in the description down below. A copy of your pilot log, okay, so your headings, any navigation equipment that you've used, any every navigation set of skills that you've used, so your heading, your correct heading, and your track, and it's tracked for your wind, okay, so things like that that will be put on your heading, the ground speed, the time that it would take for one waypoint to waypoint, from to, for example, you would have to, that's a pilot log. You know what a pilot log is if you're up to the stage. If you don't, then suggest asking you your flights training, and they'll show you, and obviously you would know once you start training for the navigation part of the exam. Okay, so your navigation syllabus, you would know what a pilot log is, and your route, of course. So you're on your navigation weather chart, your navigation chart, you would have you up-to-dated, preferably, because some, I think they've updated and they've had some let's say frequency changes. Okay, so from some ATZs you've had frequency changes, so it might not be updated on your current weather, on your current chart. I keep saying current weather chart, but it's actually current navigation chart, and might be a difference in details on that one, slightly different details, or you can just have it on you can just check on Sky Demon on the NATS, not a problem. It does change time to time, so better just check. Weight and balance, okay, so your examiner would probably give you surely would give you your weight. If he doesn't, or he or she doesn't, if they don't ask, if they don't tell you, then maybe ask, as you would need that information of their weight for the weight and balance. You would need your aircraft performance, okay, so taking the safety factors for the takeoffs and the headwind, okay, so you're going to need less takeoff distance if you have a headwind, okay, so I think it's 10% of I think if it's 9 knots headwind, you would take off 10% of the takeoff distance. On the chart, I think every runway, or you would need to check the runway length of your airfield, okay, to compare and to see that you're not over running the runway. Then you would need a color copy of your ID, a copy of your medical if your flight training school doesn't have that already. Make sure your medical is up to date, okay, it's not updated, and it's it's up to date. Your aircraft pilot operating handbook, okay, you would need that for your examiner, just to know the speeds. Just make yourself aware of your speeds. Maybe your instructor's told you something and it's right, but sometimes it's just slightly off. I don't know, it depends. check the handbook just in case. Aircraft tech log. Okay, so your technical log of the aircraft, make sure you can write that. You write it down as soon as you get to the training organization, do your A check, and then you can start from there. That's, I think, the documents is the first on the checklist, or at least it is for Y1 documents for your first A check. So your date, then you would have to put from to, such a details. I'm sure your examiners, or sorry, your instructors would have told you that as well, and your flight training organization. That's that for the on the day. If I've missed something or I've not said something, do make sure you ask your flight training. Be safe and secure and just confident that when you get on that plane, you know everything what you have to do. You're safe, you're secure, and just treat the examiner as a passenger, your friend. Okay, treat it as your friend. You're taking them on a nice plane flight, a nice flight from, I don't know, A to B. Okay, and you need to go from A to B with your friend, go to a museum, for example, come back, and then go for a cup of tea. I don't know, whatever you have to do. Okay, just treat it as a nice day. Okay, don't be too stressed, but do make sure that you're on the spot, on the ball. Okay, for this exam, really, really crucial. Just be alert. Go to bed early if you've got an early flight. If you've got an early flight, go to bed early. Don't have to tell you, but obviously some things that just stay awake and be on top of your game. Okay, if you can. And if you do have a couple of mistakes, not a problem. Okay, we all make mistakes. We're all human. So just do your best to get ready and pass this skills test, which obviously I know you want the pass as well. Okay. Additional reading, standard documents 19. It's on the CAA website. All these will go in the description down below, guys. And a safety sense leaflet 5, 7, 8, and 22. This is what the additional reading is. I read it earlier than my skills test. Okay, so I'm not entirely sure what these numbers are, but I will put it in the description. I've read them, but I don't know exactly what the title of them are. Your standing operating procedures for your aircraft, for your training organization and your airfield. Okay, and just general question and answers on your aircraft. Okay, so your examiner might ask you for just any situation that might happen. If there's an engine failure, for example, not real one, but simulated engine failure, and your instructor might ask you, I smell some burning, what is it? Okay, or you smell smoke, or you can see smoke, or you can just see flames or fire, or your feet are hot on the rudder pedals, what is it? And it's probably a possible electrical failure. Okay, you see that the engine is running rough. What do you do? And some things that obviously we need to prepare for your skills test, and some scenarios that your examiners would ask you, and you would have to probably know to answer them correctly. Just these type of things. Aircraft, just general aircraft question answers. Fuel, oil, I'm sure you know that and you've done that for the A check. But just have a look on the CAA website and have a look on the internet as well. There's plenty of question and answers, and obviously just many things that can. There are many questions they can give you, but usually the general ones are for the electrical failure, engine failure, things like that. That's done for what you have to do on the day before your test, on the day, and additional reading. Now, let me just briefly explain to you, because we're getting quite long. It's already a couple of minutes, more or less 20 minutes in, how the test went. So you're going to meet with your instructor, possibly give a phone number, or they'll get in touch with you. You need to get in touch with them. If the weather's not bad, mine has been cancelled a couple of times before actual flying. So get in touch the night before or the day before and just check, are you safe? If the cloud is 1,500 as base, you need to fly a navigation at 2,200, 2,100, whatever it has to be. Can you fly? The answer is possibly no. Why? Because You can't go over the cloud. It's visual flying. Okay, so all these things, and obviously if you say yes, we can go flying, your examiner's probably going to say no. It's not ideal, but I'm sure that that's how it runs. Just normally, what I do with my examiner was just check the night before, and then you just give your opinion, and it's your call on some things. If the wind is too strong for you and you're not safe to fly in the wind, or you're not confident, check another day. Obviously, if it's good. If it's winter, then possibly, I don't know, it's your call. If it's 10 knots wind, I would probably take it. If it's in winter, if it's in summer and the examiner is available most times, I don't know, I'm assuming. In this case, if the examiner is available most days and it's 10 knots of wind, if you're not safe to fly if you prefer 5 knots of wind that's in a week's time, go ahead with that one. Your call. You decide what's best for you, and obviously be secure, safe, and confident. I think are the three things that you're flying with. Your best tips when it goes to flying on a skills test and generally every day. You need to be confident of what you're doing and on the ball always. Okay, so then you would check all your plugs, your weight and balance, your aircraft performance. Your examiner would give you a briefing, give you to, I think, sign something or paperwork, whatever, general, normal paperwork stuff. Then they would give you a briefing before takeoff briefing, before the skills test, and then you would go ahead in your aircraft, do a normal taxiing, normal radio calls. You've got your navigation chart. Okay, so I think, and I don't know, I'm not going to go in order because my one was navigation first. Okay, so and then a navigation. So you'd have to go take off as you normally would do in your airfield. Some airfields take off differently than others. So you different procedures. I don't know how it works for you, but you would take off normally, go to your start of the navigation, and then go from the waypoint to waypoint. Turn, time, and talk was what I've been told. Okay, what I've been taught. So turn to your waypoint, then you're going to time it. Okay, so you're going to give your navigation. If it's 12 o'clock on the dot and you're above overhead where you're starting your waypoint, and the end of the waypoint is as you calculated it on your flight on your pilot log is 20 minutes time. You're going to be to A to B. Then your ETA would probably be 12:20. You're going to rectify it at halfway. So at 12:10, you're going to check, am I still going to get there at 12:20? If not, 12:21, 12:22, or 12:19, depends. Remember to look for visual references. Look outside for any large, probably towns. Okay, for rivers. So if it's not a big river, then it's difficult to see. Even the roads, there are a couple of roads, so it's easy to get mixed up on which one it actually is on the map. If it's not a big one, if it's all short ones, then it's easy to get mixed up. So looking for turbines, looking for stuff like housings, towns, big towns, just generally dead reckoning and see where you are on the map. You would do that one, then your examiner would give you a diversion. You would have to, I suggest you use a ruler in flight and a permanent marker. Just use your ruler, track, not dotted, but I think hyphen is what it's called, to your destination. Use a compass rose if you do have one on the navigation chart, or if your flight training provides you with a compass rose. Mine one did. Okay, so you can just get a compass rose, look at the heading you need to fly, a thumb rule. Okay, so this basically is 10 nautical miles and 5 minutes, and you would do that. So if this is this, you're going to do, sorry, it looks bad on here, but 1, 2, and 3, that's 30 nautical miles, more or less 15 minutes. If you're starting at 12 o'clock, you'll know that you're going to get a diversion to wherever you have to be at 12:15, 15 past 12. Okay, so that's kind of how it works. It's not precise. You're not using your equipment to do this. You're just using a ruler possibly. Some people don't even use a ruler. Up to them, up to you, how you prefer doing it. I got my ruler just to be in case. Flight heading. Make sure, guys, really important to look at the winds. Okay, if you have a wind, if this is your track and you're going this way, you're going to be pushed more this way. So just get your heading and fly like this. Okay, so more to that side. I know that doesn't look precise, doesn't look very professional in a way, but just take care and make sure of the winds. Next one, guys, you're going to go for your general handling. Okay, so your stalls, your slow flight, your turnings, your PFL, so your precautionary flight, forced landings, all the things you've learned. Okay, some things, for example, climbing and descending, your examiner might give you what's the best, what's your glide speed on your plane, says 152, whatever it has to be. You know the answer, you know what you've been trained. Just go. Normally, don't be pressured, don't be nervous. If you do, in case you don't do the best, first chance of, don't do the best try, let's say, on your first stall, okay? So a clean, powered off stall, no worries, ask the examiner to do it again, not a problem. You're not trying to perfect it, you're trying to just see that how safe you are. And obviously, there's close to nothing near to perfection. Okay, so just do the best as you can. Do the general handling, whatever you have to do, the examiner asks you, and then you're going to go back, at least, again, this is what I did on my one, go back to the, to your flight airfield, okay, your aerodrome, do a couple of circuits, probably flapless glide, or short field, depends if your field is already short. Short field landing, not a grass, but you can do a grass, I'm not sure. Any other performance short field takeoff, maybe, I don't know. Didn't have mine for that one. A couple of circuits, and then you are done, ready to go. Get off the ground, taxi, obviously park, and then your instructor hopefully would give you a pass. Okay, you can partially pass, you can pass, or you can fail. I passed straight away. So it depends, but I don't know what the chances are. I don't know what the probability of people in 100 students getting a pass, partial pass, or fail. I'm not sure. I didn't check the data for that one, so I can't tell you. Just go into the exam being confident that you can fly a plane with a passenger. No help from the instructor, okay, or examiner. I don't know, maybe it could help you, but no. Just make sure that you can go in there and you know that you have your passenger, you have your friend next to you, you're a pilot in command, and you can do the best to get them safely from A to B, I don't know, overhead somewhere, show them something in the air, come back and land safely. Just basically take your examiner as a passenger. Okay, if someone else you're flying with, nothing to be very nervous about. It's obviously nerve-wracking because it's a skill test, okay? It's not a normal flight, but just take it easy and obviously do focus a lot when it comes to that one. Guys, try using this one. I think I've talked a lot today. Flying training, and you have just many contents. So you can see flight and level here, and then you have your climbing, descending, taxiing the airplane, which probably you already know if you're at this stage, I'm sure. Medium level turns, turning, stalling, and slow flight. Let's go to stalling, for example, 167. I'll show you how it is. I think you can do this, I'm not sure. Slow flying, there we go. See, it gives you this page, and so slow considerations, your threats and errors, your curve. Okay, this is three pages on the flying the maneuver, attaining the slow flight, control effectiveness. That's 4 pages. There we go. 5 pages? 5 pages. That's why I'm saying it's really detailed. It's really detailed to be a nice book. It's a really nice book. I really enjoyed it. I really liked using this for my skills test. Really, I think it really helped me along with what you have with your training organization. And that's all, guys. If you do have any more questions, do comment down below, or my Instagram, whatever, any doubts, any questions on the exam, or anything else in general. This is done. This is the last video for the PPL exams. Okay, we'll get on to the PPL flight training. So hopefully I can fly and get a GoPro and show you some of these. Obviously, disclaimer, I'm not teaching anything. I'm not a flight instructor. I'm just showing you, obviously, if it's possible to do so. Thank you guys for today. Thank you for your support. As always, do you have any questions, do comment down below and I'll be really happy to help you. Thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you liked it. I hope you understood something new and now you're a bit more less nervous for your skills test. Take it easy, pass, and I'm sure you'll pass, and we'll see you when you've passed on the other side. Thank you guys. Enjoy your day. Have a nice day. Bye.